boys and girls, students of Buddhist Sunday school and Dharma classes, secondary and perhaps even primary students, Buddhist youth members, parents and grandparents, and teachers of Buddhist Sunday school and Dharma classes. May you all be well, happy, and peaceful. We are going to have a very important presentation titled Moral Lessons for the Young. The texts are in English and Malay, while the narration and explanation and comments are in English. Now we are going to have a PowerPoint as usual so that you can understand better and the pictures will help to create a good impression. Now, before we launch the PowerPoint, let us, as usual, check the setup. It is okay. Now we will launch the PowerPoint. Now, this is the cover slide. As you can see, very colorful pictures have taken from one of the books on moral lessons. And you see these pictures all have very important messages, like this one, the young ones paying good attention to the grandfather, or maybe a wise old man. And then this one to remind you not to do some of the terrible things. And this one is gotong royong, or doing good work to protect the environment. This one is being very kind to animals, to feed the birds even. And this also to tell you whether you want to go to very good states like heaven or good states like hell, what you should do and so on. And this one are, associating with bad people. And this one is listening to wise advice, Dharma teachings from a wise man. And this is class discipline and all this. Anyway, let us go on to the slides. So this is the cover slide, slide number 1. Now let's go on to the next one. Now let us read this and then explain. The Malay text you can read later on when they are posted on the internet. You can either check YouTube or SlideShare. But let us now do the thing in English. Always practice giving. Do charitable deeds. Help the poor. Help the needy. Render services when needed. All these acts of dana will lead you to happy mental states in this and future lives. Now, this is the very important practice of dana, which translates as charity or giving, helping, service, generosity. Like you can see, this children so kind maybe to give this lady maybe some foodstuffs, all right, and this man so very kind to repair the village bridge, right, and that the child also is helping a little bit lah. That is a very good act of charity. And here of course maybe in the handicapped children's home or the paraplegic where you have people who, or children young and old also lah, who cannot walk, who need the wheelchair. So these kind people pay visits to them, bring them the food, talk to them. All these are very good acts. And if you practice this, you find your mind states will become happier and more peaceful. And in future lives, you can be born into either in the heavens or as a human being, right? And then you'll be wealthy also. Uh, so people who are very wealthy this life, now one of the causes is the good karma from the past, where they practice a lot of charity. Now in Dhammapada stories, you have cases of, people who are so very stingy, so very kedekut, misers. And then you see near their dying moments, they feel very, very disturbed, suffering in fear and so on. They cannot die peacefully even. And then they get reborn into terrible states. Even as a human being, one case I told about the rich but very stingy man later on reborn as a monster child in the village of beggars. This was a presentation I did some time ago lah. So you remember this. Don't be selfish, thinking of yourself, and you find that this is a good act, and good begets good, bad begets bad. You do a good thing will happen to you. Well, I see there are people who are very, very kind. Even in the Buddhist Association, you have some children always doing dana, coming to help to sweep the floor, arrange the desk in the classroom, right? Helping to water the plants, but very small number lah. I would say today you have fewer and fewer people who want to go and help. Because why? They are distracted by the things of the smartphone. And then some say they are busy for tuition. That's why even library now, we cannot get volunteers to come and serve. No, those days we had 60 librarians to help to serve community library, PBHP now very difficult. Why? People are not practicing dana a lot already. But then you find association, you still have people like ladies section, help to cook, help to serve people, welfare section also. All the sections are practicing good dana also. So this is an important point for you to reflect upon. Now let us go on to slide number 3. In slide number 3, let us read this first. Always practice right speech. No lying, no deceitful words, no slander, no malicious speech, no harsh speech, no foul words, no gossip, no idle talk. Now, this is very important in the Dhamma practice. In the Noble Eightfold Path, this is Sama Vacha, to always practice right speech. And there are 4 very important points, right? The first one is no lying. Must not tell lies. Remember the story, the boy who cried wolf? Like this Pinocchio, person who likes always to tell lies. And this shows lying, the nose goes longer and longer. And of course, also in connection with this, to use words to cheat people, to deceive people. This also under lying. And then the second one is to talk bad about people, lying, so terrible. And then saying malicious speech, right? Carry tales, this person talk bad about you, you're terrible, this person. And then after you tell the other person, the other person talks bad, all these carrying tales, backbiting, cause a lot of trouble. And then also, malicious speech is also connected with the second one of slander. And then the third one is using the bad words, foul language, harsh speech, abusive language that can hurt another person's heart. So if people use bad words and harsh speech against you, do you like? You also don't like. So likewise, also you must not use this bad speech or harsh speech, foul language, bad words, all these under harsh speech. And then the last one of the 4 is no gossip, no frivolous talk, just wasting the time, chit-chatting, spreading rumors, instead of talking useful things like sharing Dhamma or discussing important knowledge that can benefit people. Instead, you spend so much time talk all those gossiping. And then sometimes worse still, spreading rumors, all those, So this is the second important moral lesson pertaining to right speech, Sama Vacha. Now let us go on to slide number 4, which is the third moral lesson. Do not kill a living being. Do not harm or cause pain to any person or animal. Such actions will bring suffering to the doer. In future lives, he has a short life or is sickly. Now, it's terrible, isn't it? All living beings value their life. The life is the most precious thing, isn't it? If somebody comes to your house, right? So you say, you give me the money or I kill you. Which you choose? You think you're so stupid and say, I want my money. Then you lose a life. It's terrible, isn't it? The life is the most precious thing. So we must not harm and or kill or cause pain to not only human beings but to animals as well. Here, of course, you see this man, while you causing harm to other people, he kicks the other people, causing them pain. Here you see, slaughtering the chicken, slaughtering the maybe a goat, some slaughter pig, all these. All these are not wholesome actions, right? So you must not kill, otherwise there will be a karmic effect, a consequence. You see that you, of course, you find in our laws also, or you go and kill another person, or you can be sentenced to death even, apart from life imprisonment. And if the person escapes, let's say, hey, the person has killed everything, but then still until after that, until his dying moment, he's still patat, He's not caught by the police, and then he's still so rich and so on. Yes, but then what will happen after he dies? He will get reborn into a suffering state. There are three suffering states like hell, animal realm, and ghost. You see? So you cannot escape. It's a law of karma. Huh? This life you escape, you find future lives, you get it. This life you suffer, next life and future life still can suffer also. So you see how important this is of not killing. That's the first of the 5 precepts you take, remember? And to take the precept not to kill intentionally. Now we go to the next slide, which is slide number 5. Do not steal or take what is not given to you. Now, I want you to examine the picture so that you can understand what it is about. Now, you do not want people to take your things also, isn't it? So you should not steal. You steal people things, then of course, one day something happens to you, and in fact, there's a wrong thing to steal. Or take what is not given to you. These pictures, this fella maybe going to somebody's compound to dig for certain things, to steal certain things or what. Anyway, it's stealing. Taking what is not given. This one, of course, is obvious. This one is so greedy. Don't know where he has stolen all these things or cheated people of their money or things. So do not steal or take what is not given to you. Do not cheat others of their things. Do not con people or swindle people. Wow, today on the internet, you have to be very careful. There are so many people out to cheat you. Scam, Macau scam lah. People who con you lah. So you have to be very careful when you get phone calls or you get SMS messages, WhatsApp messages. Don't get involved in this. If people ask you to tell this, tell that, don't listen to all those asking you to give your particulars, I see love. And then if you have a bank account number, all this, never do that. There are many people who are greedy. So if a person breaks this precept of stealing or taking what is not given, then it can lead the doer to dukkha. In this life itself, of course, when people know of it, you going to have it, because people look down upon you, they report you to the police. If police tangkap you, then you can be charged and then jail also. If you escape and then you say nothing, you see that people who cheat, to smuggle drugs and so on, okay, patat, yeah, as I say, you escape this life, but future lives, you find you go into the suffering states. Even you're born as a human being, you find you'll be in the terrible condition. So very, very poor. So this is a terrible thing. You have to be very, very careful. So that is this slide number 5. Slide number 5. And now let us go on to number 6. Just now, number 5 is the fourth moral lesson. Now, slide number 6 is the fifth moral lesson. Love and protect the environment. Do not pollute or litter. Do not do open burning. Take care of nature. Help clear the environment of rubbish. Harming the environment will cause suffering to all living beings, including you yourself. Now you can see this that tells very important moral lessons. These people take care of the environment, clean the neighborhood, the compound, and so on. That's a very good action, taking care of the environment. Likewise here also clearing the rubbish. But today, wow, terrible. You just go around, even in Taluintan, small place, other places also similar. You have one area, people, the town council has put in a rubbish dump area, containers or things like that. And then after that, they can also have noticed, jangan buang sampah di sini. That means in the wrong place lah, right? Denda RM500. But you see, right at the notice, denda RM500, you have a lot of sampah. People from other places, from other houses, no. Just go to that place, not their place, and then dump in all the rubbish. Terrible attitude, I don't know what sort of moral education they have studied, And then this is causing a lot of danger also. Can have the spread of diseases. And then it's unsightly, isn't it? Polluting the environment. Now, if people go and dump all the rubbish in your house, you think you like or not? But they go and dump in another place near to somebody's house. This one very common sight. So it's very, very terrible. And then some people just burn the things, polluting the environment. This, of course, a factory area also. They don't take steps, you see, polluting the atmosphere. But even you find in residential places, and people, because of sometimes wrong beliefs, they think, must burn a lot of Joss paper, must burn paper houses, must burn this and that, so that the ghosts will not come and harm us. All those are wrong beliefs, and they burn this and pollute the environment. Poisonous gases released up to the atmosphere. And then now the carbon, everything fly to other people's houses. So are you doing good things? You are harming not only to yourself, because when you do that, you also breathe in all the terrible things, and then you waste a lot of money, and then also you are harming other people, isn't it? And then also you're harming the environment. Your next generation also for suffer. So you see how important it is to love and protect the environment. But there are some very good people, very small number but they go and do gotong royong and help to clear, But a lot of people dirty the things again, And this will have a consequence. Bad effects will come upon these people. You think the gods will protect them? And the gods say you're doing stupid things. Why you pray to me this way? You think you burn the paper money, I will become rich. The gods don't need this also, isn't it? So because of delusion, ignorance, that's why it's important to study the Dharma and practice well, correctly. So that is slide number 6. Now, I think the pictures are important because they help to convey the message and they create a very good impact on your mind. So that, at your back of mind, you always will think, be careful, I don't do these things. And then now you find it's getting worse, I see. During my school days, I don't see so much of this polluting the environment. Now, all over, you go to housing estates, you go to town areas, people just throw rubbish anywhere. You go to beaches also. So you see, this will have the spread of diseases much easier, So you see how dangerous it is. And then when the atmosphere is polluted, you have too much carbon dioxide released up and other poisonous gases and so on. So you have climatic changes already. Then natural disasters can happen. Sometimes you find very funny. It should not be that hot, but it is hot. And it's not due to the God. It's due to a lot of things are due to the man's foolishness. So we must do our part and do the correct things and set the examples. You see, don't do that, you see. One very simple thing is throwing the rubbish into the proper places. Some you can even sell, donate to the recycling area, or you want to sell and get some money for welfare, better still, very good, you see. So let us now go on to slide number 7. Number 6 slide was love and protect the environment. Then another very important moral lesson, practice gratitude. It's so very important to practice gratitude and filial piety. Be grateful to parents, grandparents, the elders, monks, nuns, teachers, and all who have helped you. And today, very sad, can earn and the whom earn is dropping, getting less. People take things for granted. They assume, I should get these things, my parents should give me this, give me that, Wow, they have got so many things and they are not grateful and they don't count their blessings. So thankful that you've got these things. Other people are suffering in Africa. The child doesn't even have the food to eat, not enough clothes to wear, right? And yet here, we are wasting, so many are wasting the food, wanting more and more, not really necessary. They want 3-4 pairs of shoes. They want, wow, very expensive mobile phones. They're not grateful to what they have. So if you don't practice this gratitude, it's matter of time you come that not so good things will happen to you already. Now imagine, let's say you are young and you are not grateful for the things, you're not grateful to parents. Next time when you grow up and you become parents, what happens if your children are also like that? You find it's likely, cause effect, you were like that. So now you face this. So they also will have children that are not grateful, or people do not like ungrateful people, isn't it? Others will not like people who are ungrateful, they only want to get things only, but they don't want to give. They don't express their appreciation or thanks, today it's very common. I see the downslide in education compared to the first time I taught in the 1970s, and now it's been how many years already? So it's quite sad, but then we do what we can so that you won't be one of the people like that. It might be the majority of people like that, but you are the special ones and you will reap the rewards, right? So this is slide pertaining to gratitude, which is slide number 7, and is the moral lesson number 6, right? Because the first one is the cover slide. So this is something very important for you to consider, practice. The Buddha taught on the importance of gratitude, like gratitude to the parents. But today many don't follow. Some get angry with the parents because today the parents don't give them this thing, they want this, they want that, they don't know that the parents are struggling and suffering to earn a living, especially now times are hard. You see. But this is a very good picture showing the good children, very grateful to the parents, to the grandparent also. And then you must think, your parents have helped you so much, when you are sick, the mother is so concerned, takes good care of you, your family members. So do you show gratitude? That is this question. Now let us go on to the next one. Be diligent in your learning and you're working towards good worthy goals. Now, good worthy goals, you say, I want to be a smuggler, all this. That is a wrong goal. A good worthy goals, I want to study hard, go to maybe university, and then I will get a good job, able to help the family and other people. And that will be a good goal. But if you want to realize your goal, you must be hardworking, diligent in the learning, as this picture shows, you see. Whatever you do, if you don't have diligence, if you are not hardworking, you cannot be successful. You cannot achieve your goal, your target or what, And likewise also in Dharma practice, if you want to, go up and finally become Arahan or Buddha even, you must be very diligent in your Dharma learning and Dharma practice. Let's say you want to improve in your mind to become more happy, more peaceful, less stress, less angry, less greedy. You want your mind to be very good lah, so that you be very happy and peaceful. Then you have to be diligent. You cannot just go and pray and pray. Oh, I have this, I have that, I'll be happy, I'll be peaceful. But you never do all those things, isn't it? You can't. The God you think you can be bribed. The gods cannot be bribed. You have to put in the work, and one of the most important qualities is diligence in whatever you do. And in connection with that also, we must have determination, dressing, endurance. Don't just give up so easily. You must have patience. And always going on, not giving up. It's difficult. I give up, I cannot. You remember, I've told you many times the story of the scientist, right? The one who invented the electric bulb, Thomas Edison. He was so determined, so diligent, persistent. He tried so many times, I think more than maybe 600-700 times. The bulb couldn't work, People try to discourage him. Stop lah, cannot work one. You never learn anything, what? He said, yes, every time it doesn't work, I learn something. I learned that this is one way where it cannot work. So in the end, of course, he succeeded. And because of his diligence, his determination, endurance, persistence, today you see we are blessed with having the electric bulbs, And they must be patient. Many people, come to practice the Dharma meditation. So difficult one. How come cannot get anything? I say, what do you want to get? You must throw away all the rubbish. Not to get, to get what? To get well. To get beautiful girlfriends or boyfriends. Handsome boyfriends. That's not the aim of meditation. So no patience. The thing must be fast. Like cooking the instant Maggi mee, must be fast. 3 minutes can eat already. It's not like this, All the things that you do in the world to get the worthy goals will require patience, diligence. So without these virtues, you cannot be successful. That is for sure. No pain, no gain. He that wants the fruit must climb the tree, as the Japanese proverb says. Don't put in any work. You think that all the gold and all those money can fall from heaven. You can't, isn't it? But sad to say today, people now try to use shortcuts. Wow, near exam period, go and then get some blessings. Go and get fish paper, the holy paper, get holy water, thinking that all these will give them all the A's or the success. You can't. If you don't put in the work, no amount of all these wrong practices can help you. But if you are very, very hard working already, and then you want to practice in your own religion in the right way, just make the aspiration, may I be peaceful, that I can be successful, right? May my mind be clear. But you have already put in all the work, and you are putting all the work, that is okay, that is good. Imagine the difference, isn't it? There is a saying that says, God does not help those who don't help themselves. Correct? If you don't help yourself, even God cannot help you. Very, very true. So now let us go on to number 9. You can examine for a while this image and read both the English and Malay for a while. Okay, I hope you have read this. And this is on the important thing of metta, the practice of loving kindness to all living beings. I think those who have been in the Sunday school, you have been taught how to do metta bhavana, and always there will be a short period for you to sit down quietly and radiate all the good thoughts to yourself, to your family members, to all your friends and teachers, and to all our beings. May they be well, happy, peaceful, all right, free from harm and danger, all the good thoughts about them. So this is a very important practice. I see this family is so very kind, full of loving kindness and also compassion. And they give the things to the poor people, and then these children are so very kind to the animals, metta to the animals, you see. So kindness is magic. Ah. So in fact, if you practice metta, you find there are very, very many benefits. Altogether, there are 11 benefits. I've also done the posting of how to do metta, why do you do metta, and then the benefits you can get, what is metta, and all this. Basically, is loving kindness. It's I. Right? So, but there are some who don't practice this at all. They practice the opposite. They're very cruel. Kick the animals, right? Pull the wings from the insects. All sorts of terrible things cause other especially like animals or even human beings to suffer. You find that in the world today, you still have that. People torturing people, right? It's terrible. So you remember when you do something unwholesome like this, giving pain to others, giving pain to all to living beings, then the time will come when you will suffer the vipaka. Sometimes in this life, so you see that sometimes you see people so very sickly or always having the pain, all this. Of course, there are many causes. One of the causes is the past karma. The past karma, they have tortured, they have given pain to other living beings. And now you suffer. This is one of the very important causes. It's also mentioned in the Buddhist scriptures. So remember that to always practice metta, and you can get a lot of benefits that help you being able to sleep well, no bad dreams, people like you, animals also like you, and then you can study better because it improves your mind power, you can concentrate better. Many benefits. I remember last time when I learned this, maybe 30 or maybe 40 years ago already, many years ago. Today, I still do practice this, and I can say that the benefits are really true. Many benefits. You might not be on short, realize all the benefits, but many benefits. The last time I couldn't sleep easily. Wow, after practicing metta, so easily you can sleep and get up on time and all those things. Many benefits you have to test out for yourself. Kindness, metta is truly magic. So that is slide number 9. Slide number 9. Now let us go on to slide number 10. Slide number 10 also is a very important people, not only to young students, but to all people. And that is to listen with alert attention. Now today, very sad to say, the listening power of many people, young and old, especially many young ones also, is very poor. They do not listen well and attentively to what is being said to them by the teachers, by the parents, right, by the Dharma teachers, by the monks, and so on. The minds are restless. The minds run like monkeys. So they don't concentrate, so they don't register all the good things that are being told to them. But instead, they prefer to play with their mobile phones, with all the fast-moving arcade games, that type of games, violent one, all this, that don't benefit you, but actually can harm you. So we must learn to listen with alert attention. You can see the picture here. So attentive, these children are listening to what is being said by the wise men. Now, I reflect and think of more than 30 over years of teaching. The best students I've taught. Best students, what I mean is not only good in studies, but they're good in all things. Extracurricular activities, debating, and then sports also. As I noticed this thing, they have very good listening powers. They can concentrate very well, and they are very attentive. Right? So they can do so many things because they are attentive and they listen properly. Then the things all go into their minds and they can remember. Then they have time to do other things like sports, extracurricular activities, public speaking, and so on. I remember these students. Excellent. And then later on, when they grow up, when they grew up, they went to top universities, Cambridge University, or some of the top universities in US, MIT, Princeton, and so on. So, from here you see how important it is the listening skill, to listen well. In fact, in the Dharma practice, he stated that to be able to listen well to the Dharma teachings, to the teachings of the Buddha, to listen with very full attention, concentration, mindfulness, and then to be able to have wise reflection. If you can do these two things, you go up the spiritual ladder. You are heading to the direction of Arahant already. You can become Arahant. You go to the first stage first and so on. So you see how important it is. During Buddha's time, there were no books or no cassettes or no CDs and so on. It was by listening. Many times, they listen, same thing again and again. And they register their mind, they become so powerful they can remember all these things. So this is a very important thing. You must always practice mindfulness to know, to be alert, to be aware of what is going on in your mind. Many people don't have that. Their mind runs all over to London, to New York, to the beaches and all those things, not mindful. So it becomes weak, cannot concentrate. Always running like a monkey. You don't tame the monkey. And then also to be alert and be aware of what you speak. Many people speak the wrong things and then have trouble coming to them and then causing trouble to others. Wrong speech because not careful, not heedful, not mindful of their words, right? And bodily action, of course. Sometimes people walking, right? Not mindful, not attentive enough. You kick a stone, fall into a drain, go into a running car, cross the road when the lights are red. All these things are a lack of mindfulness. So be awake and aware of what happens around you. Being mindful is a great spiritual practice. In Dharma practice, it's very important. In the Noble Eightfold Path is samasati, right mindfulness, 正念. So remember this very important lesson. More important than all the geography or the history, all this you study, which you will forget. But this one, from life to life, if you have learned that, then it's that quality of the mind that is yours, that is your true treasure. I've forgotten most of the things I study even at the university, but the Dharma that I learned, understood and practiced, that's still with me now. And that will be our real true wealth. But unfortunately, people, very few people want to follow this. They prefer to watch tons of all those entertainment movies, singing, dancing non-stop. This one will not improve your mindfulness. And that is not your true wealth also. They won't follow you. All those dancing and singing, all this, you think they follow you. No. So the real treasure is to develop the mind in mindfulness, concentration. Now let us go on to number 11. This one, by the way, the pictures here, this one actually is showing a practice of mindfulness meditation, which Buddhists are encouraged to learn to be mindful. Even when your eyes closed, you know there's sound, and then you're mindful of the breathing in, breathing out as a technique. You are mindful when there is maybe a bird coming near you, or maybe an insect crawling. All these, you are mindful, and that's how we train the mind. You're mindful, some itchiness, some pain, right? Everything, all these, you are mindful, the mind becomes stronger and stronger. But today, sad to say, many minds are becoming weaker and weaker, which means they become restless, like you see repeat, right? And then they become impatient, and then they become more greedy, and then later on become adults also. You see, you have corruption, so many scandals. This one from young, not inculcated the proper values, virtues, not inculcated inside truly. So some, when they become older, they do terrible things, cheating people of millions, con men, scammers, all those things. So you see, listening with alert attention is very important. Of course, when you listen to people, you have to think, you have to do reflection. Because some people, you also have con men, they are very good at telling you all these things. You listen, if you develop your Dharma, you become wise, the fella is trying to cheat. Right? You listen, then you know that some useless one, then you don't want to listen already. But I'm talking about listening to, for example, the cultivated monks, the good teachers, The parents, your grandparents who mean well for you, do you listen with attention? Do you listen well and carry out the good advice that you are given by the good teachers or your parents or by the good cultivated monks or the professional counselors, all those? Do you? So that is what we have to ask ourselves. So now let us go on to number 11. Slide number 11. Just now was listening with alert attention. Now is associating. Associating with virtuous, wise people. Virtuous people who are following morality lah. They have good moral values. They don't do all the wrong things, all the vices. And they have the wisdom. Wisdom will mean that they know what should be done, what should not be done, which are the things that you have to do that will make you more happy and truly peaceful. That is wisdom. It's not book knowledge, book knowledge, some people want to get A's for all the subjects, go to universities, and they become professors also. But you find you have also professors that became terrorists. So very, very smart and clever, but no wisdom. And then no virtue also. These two must go together. You have virtue, good morality, then develop the wisdom. You cannot have wisdom without virtue, morality. Just as you will find that some people, as I said, study a lot, but with all the bad habits, they do the vices, the bad things, lying, stealing things from people, cheating people, commit adultery, drinking until become mabuk. They may be very clever in terms of book knowledge, but they are not virtuous, right? So you must mix with this type of people who are virtuous and wise. And they are able to teach you important life lessons. You can say, can teach you important Dharma. Actually, Dharma is everywhere. The things that are truthful, the truth, the laws of nature, the laws of our mind, all these are Dharma. So I use the term life lessons. That will help you to be more happy and peaceful. That is the aim, you see. So like you can see, I like this picture very much, right? That these girls, I think mostly girls, are listening so attentively, and they like to go and meet these very wise people in the temple, monks, or outside, even other religions also. You may have some wise priests and so on. Swami, they like to go and associate with them. You mix with these type of people, very good. This one is the opposite. You can mix with the wrong kaki, smoking, do funny things, bad habits. All these things I don't associate with these type of people, because these are what we call the fools. The fools doesn't mean that they are not smart, They can be clever, they can go to university. Fools means they don't have virtue, they don't follow the moral way, and they don't have wisdom, of course. These are the fools. They don't want to follow the Dharma way. So don't go and mix with them, because you say, Dharma, I can go and teach them, I can save them. They will pull you at the nose, and eventually you become like them, because your level is not high enough. You're not the saint yet. Buddha, okay lah. Buddha taught even Angulimala, the bandit that killed hundreds of people. Buddha taught him and changed him into an Arahant. You are not Buddha, You can be easily influenced. So therefore, the Buddha advised, associate not with the fools. And the fools are those who do not know Dhamma, and they go and do immoral things, immoral ways. As you have encountered in your school, or in the society, or in your college, you have all sorts of people. So pick your friends wisely. So that is number 11, right? Number 11 already. So you see the picture, it's very meaningful. And this one, the animated one, shows this one associating with fools. Maybe they go to the pubs, they will drink, and then they will smoke. And worst thing is they take drugs. And then all the bad habits come, easily get angry, and then become harms up people, disturb the girls. All these things, they are fools. Show that they are fools. This one shows, maybe they have taken up drinking already. So you have to be very, very careful. Otherwise you regret. Your suffering will come, not in your next life, Even this life, later on, you find people who drink become, what you call it, alcoholics. and they become drug addicts, and then they become chain smokers and ruin their health. So the suffering comes on. It's not the God that makes it like that. It's not your parents. It's not the teachers. It's you yourself. We ourselves, So that's why you have to note this moral lesson very, very carefully. So now let us move on to number 12. Number 12. Oh, these are very common, mostly among younger people, but also you have adults also like that also. Do not behave in unruly ways. Unruly, ill-mannered lah, very impolite lah, very rough ways lah, disgusting ways lah, all the terrible habits lah. People will really look down upon these type of ways. And you can see the pictures already to understand what is meant by unruly ways. You see this group of people, right? Disturbing girls, maybe shouting all the bad words. I know I've encountered students like this shouting bad words early in the morning outside the lab that I was at, preparing the work. Yeah, but then I taught them, later on they became very good people also. Because from young, maybe they were not taught properly. So don't have these unruly ways. Now you can see, fighting in class lah, vandalism lah, damage the property of the school lah. And not only that, you find in society also you have that, as I told give you the example of throwing rubbish. But then people they will write all nonsense things on the walls lah. That is called graffiti, vandalizing. Some damage the public property and so on. I remember one stage I saw the protests and demonstrations in Hong Kong. The young people, they go and damage so much of the public property, lamp posts lah, or structures that are built on roads lah, maybe bus shades lah. All those things are good damage, terrible, isn't it? Then next time, money got to be spent to repair this again. Of course, if you want to voice out, your unhappiness, disagreement, there are civilized ways of doing and so on, not resorting to violence. And then after that, they become out of control. They even roll up the old man and so on. I see a terrible behaving in unruly ways. So you will have this sort of trait, this sort of character, aggressive, violent, impolite, ill-mannered, rude, all these things. You think you'll be successful? Not only will you be reaping the bad karma, because this can lead to all unwholesome things, violence, aggression, anger, hatred, all these are not good things. They're bad karma, right? This life itself, you will face with lots of problems. Like you can see one very clear-cut example is the problem of the Madram pit, how they have hurt themselves and others also, kill people also. This is a very, very terrible ways of trying to enjoy themselves. If you want to have hobbies, enjoy yourself, there are very, very proper ways, isn't it? But today you see quarreling, bully, you find so much of bullying is taking place. Road bullies also, they have adults also. There was even a case of two professors or what many years ago fighting. I think it was around in Penang area over car park. Over car park. That was what I read. So once from young you learn this, there are terrible consequences if you behave in unruly ways. Cannot control already. Like gangsters, scoundrels, gangsters, right? So some very rude, irresponsible. They do irresponsible things. Like one clear-cut example just now I say but Rampik and the other one are people who are so irresponsible, throw rubbish at people's places, and then they cause trouble. You see wrong speech and cause trouble also. So when you have such bad characters, what will happen to these sort of people? They will face with lots of problems and suffering. Not only in this life, but in future lives as well. And in this life, you say, now I enjoy myself. Wow, very nice. Yeah, but you just got to wait the time. Matter of time before you face with the misery, the pain, the grief, the sorrow. So we must always reflect carefully that it does not pay to behave in gangster-like ways, to be very aggressive, violent, lacking in patience, understanding, lacking in metta. All these things you have to learn. They are the very important life lessons. But today, sad to say, many have forgotten the importance of this. They're more interested in what? Getting the A's. I've taught pendidikan moral. They aim to get A's, but you see, they copy also in tests. Pendidikan moral, tiru, right? And then they do ridiculous things. I have also seen the students, they virtually, it was in the all-boys school. They strip, take off their clothes because after PE, they really to change. And the teacher is right in front. That is being very impolite, isn't it? So I have to teach them. I say, this is not the proper way. You want to change your clothes, right? Then my sir, I got my underwear, right? But that is not a very polite way. I say you can go to the bathroom or toilets, which is just nearby, and change, you see. And then you find that they stand up on the chair and then take off the trousers or the shirt and so on. And then the lady teacher passes by. It's an all-boys school, right? But the lady teacher passes by. What will people think of that? So I have to reason out with them. And later on, they change their ways because you teach them properly. I don't punish them. I just advise them and so on. So they can see why. I don't in a way blame them because they were not taught when they were young in school, in the family. All this, they were just taught to get A's, very busy for tuition, everything. But life lessons, they don't know. So these are even more important than all that can be. Of course, you still study in order to pass exams and then get a job and so on. But they forget the important things, are sad to say. So you see, if you want to be truly successful, happy, and peaceful later on in life, of course you can study and get the A's and all this. But that is not the only thing. Already research shows the successful people, they may be having very high IQs, but they don't have good EQs, emotional quotient, which means they don't have the life lessons, how to conduct themselves. They will not be happy and peaceful. And they cannot be successful. And this is research, from top universities. From top universities. So remember this. So this is the slide number 12. Now we go to number 13. This, of course, is which is the last slide I put, right? You may think that, well, is this a moral lesson? Well, it is a life lesson that we must take good care of our physical and mental health. Because if we don't, and then we get sick, of course, you can get sick for various reasons. But if you get sick and you are not mentally sound because of your immoral ways, then you are responsible. Like, for example, right, they do foolish things, right? Go and take what type of drinks instead of the proper drinks. What they take liquor. They take all those minuman that has a lot of preservatives. And then they take a lot of junk food. So this will contribute to bad health, isn't it? So when you have bad health, then you are causing difficulties to your family members and so on. But sometimes a person takes all the care and still gets sick. I understand. You see, this could be due to a past karma. That one we don't blame you here, isn't it? So we still care for you. But I'm talking about those people that are very, very heedless, careless, right? And put their health in danger. Like smoking is another example. You know very well the harm, terrible harm from smoking. But yet, they smoke. Then the time comes, you get cancer of the lung and so on. So you cannot blame and say, oh, this is my karma. It is not due to the karma. It's due to your foolish ways of not taking care. Then the other point, like for example, exercise. Exercise is very important, as you can see here. So, but they say, I exercise, so I play games. Why exercise? Then every time I play games, you play games where? I play how long do you play? Until the batteries go off. They play games on the smartphone, on the iPad. That is not the exercise. This is a real exercise like this. Or you go and play badminton or football or cycling or jogging, all this. That is an important thing. And then another aspect of your physical health, we must take care of the hygiene, isn't it? If you are not hygienic, right, that you don't bother to take good care of your clothes, dirty clothes, dirty socks, and then on your hair, so whatever, I think and then the lice grow on your hair, and then You don't bathe properly, the body got fungus growing, all those things. So if it's due to your carelessness, not taking care of hygiene, then you are responsible. But if you have taken care of all these things and certain things happen, then you accept. You say, I've taken all the care already, ma. So it could be a karma factor that's the case. And then mental health, of course, very important to take care of the mind. But today, people load their minds with all the rubbish, the junk things. Racing lah, playing all those violent games lah, and then they resort to things which are not good lah, wasting their time on and then the worst thing is going to mix with people and then develop the state of greed lah in their minds gambling lah. Drinking, this can affect not only the body, like drinking not only affects the body, affects the mind also. And gambling, you say, oh, I can become rich now, but then you see the greed growing in the mind. So mental health, which means that, of course, if you follow a proper religion with religious values, then they will tell you how important it is to have a good mind of goodness, virtues. So I have put some comments here to remind you, have good nutrition, adequate exercise, enough exercise, rest and sleep, and practice good hygiene, that I explained already. And then to help your mind, you will have in your region, if you pray, it's good. You can pray. For Buddhists, they pray in the Buddhist way, right? Not asking this God, that God for this and that, but to calm down the mind, to learn, to have the inspiration from contemplating on the Buddha image. So you pray, or to make an aspiration, may I be peaceful, and so not to always ask for things only. Cannot. That's not the Buddhist way of praying. Ask for, especially like ask for money, ask for girlfriend, ask for boyfriend. But you don't do all those things, then it's not the Buddhist prayer. Or you can do chanting also. Many religions have chanting. And of course, Buddhists encourage you to do meditation. So if you want to have good mental health, the best would be this way. Learn, understand, and practice the Dharma well in order to be peaceful. That is a very, very important moral lesson. Now we are going to go to the last slide. That is the concluding slide, slide number 14. Now we come to the end. I have given a number of the moral lessons. Each of these I have explained and commented. In fact, I have surveyed, to books, to the internet, and so on, and pick up these lessons, these moral lessons, which to me are very, very important. Of course, there are many other things. If you read the books or you find the internet, they have the psychologists who give you a long list, the religious people will give you another list, and so on. So I look at all those things, then after that, I pick these important things for this presentation. So I took many hours to do this presentation. So, but it doesn't matter, even if there's just a small number of people, 3 or 4, who can benefit from this, I'm happy. I've done my part, you see. So this presentation is very, very important. I think it's important not only to young people, right, to even the older generation. Teachers, parents, and so on also, if they view this, they can help to convey to the young people, isn't it? So the gift of Dharma is the greatest gift. So then I conclude this way. One who lives a virtuous life of morality will be much more peaceful and happy, certainly. If you do not practice morality, you can not find the true peace and happiness. That is one thing for sure. That's why we know that virtue, morality is the foundation for any religion. You can't think of one religion right, that asks you to do bad, isn't it? All religions will tell you to do good, only in their different ways. So you have to realize this. So then you know this, you reflect this and say, oh yeah, right? You see something happening. But then you will be careful of the devils, the Mara forces that come and disturb you and conquer. Enjoy yourself lah, eat more lah. And these are very strong forces, so they overcome you. So you think you're very happy lah because you can eat all the fantastic food, you enjoy all those violent games, aggression, all those things which go against moral laws and wisdom. You do all those things and you think you're really, really happy. That is not true happiness. That is temporary pleasure. then the time will come you'll regret, right? If you see beginning very, very so-called happy lah, a lot of pleasure lah, ending, wow, will be bitter lah, sad lah. Whereas the person who is wise, I say, okay, I will practice the Dharma well. If I put in I might have to put in the effort lah. I have to take time to meditate. I have to take time to this one. So you say, wow, not so easy lah. No pleasure lah. But in the end, you get the fantastic things that will follow you from life to life, the true happiness and peace. So beginning difficult, ending happiness, peace. But many people want beginning, a lot of fun, pleasure, everything, but ending a lot of suffering. And it goes on to the next life. So you decide what you want. So one who lives a virtuous life of morality, and for Buddhists, you know, if you are lay Buddhist, you have to follow the precepts, the moral precepts, like layperson 5 precepts and so on. Definitely you are heading in the right direction and your life will be more peaceful and happy. And from there, you can proceed to the other things now, to develop the mind, to put in more time now for mind training. But you must have the morality first. So this presentation is basically focused on the morality, the virtuous living. That is the start. So I would say this is a very important presentation. So I hope all of you have benefited from this presentation with the illustrations. So before we say sadhu 3 times, I would like to thank all you boys and girls, students of primary, secondary, or even tertiary, college and university students, and also all Buddhist youth members who are working also maybe, and all parents, grandparents, and also the teachers of Buddhist Sunday school, Dharma classes. So I'd like to thank all of you. I'd like to say sadhu for taking the time and putting in the effort and also exerting your concentration and mindfulness to follow this presentation. So let us put our palms together and say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. To all those who follow presentation, may all be well, happy, peaceful, and may the Dhamma be with you always. Take care.